we're back out in Evanswood, and I've got Luke Hanson here. We're gonna walk through the St. Jude Dream Home and talk a little bit about the project. Let's go.
So this is Hanson Builders Sutton Sport plan. This is a 6,100 and change finished square foot house. And we have I think a really functional layout. It's definitely more of a family friendly design. You know, many of our homes, we do a front office. And so this has the study up towards the front. You'll see in this office, we did the color drenching. And the color drenching is gotten pretty popular. You'll see that repeated, I think, in quite a few of our model homes. Today, that's where we do the base, the casing on the windows. Here we have the square molding on the ceiling, and then the built-in cabinetry, and the wall color is all the same. You do get just a little bit of a differential because you have the flat paint and then you have an oil-based enamel paint on the woodwork. So you kind of still get some contrast, but it's really light. The idea with color drenching is that it's supposed to, depending on the color, if you get it right, spark creativity in the space. That's what you'll
That's
read.
what they claim, at least.
That's what they claim.
I like it versus having wood or white trim that would really throw off the vibe.
Damper your creativity, yeah. And then, you know, on some of our offices, we're gonna do the glass doors. This is the true divider light. Glass doors where you have the wood in the center and the glass panels separate versus like an etched glass option. This house, we have a little more of kind of an entry foyer. You know, many of our floor plans, you come in and it just opens up right away. And I know you're familiar with our Hillcrest and many others. We kind of come in and you're almost entering into where you can see the kitchen early. This has quite a bit more separation. So we kind of have this dedicated foyer entry. She did the vertical shiplap on this wall just to add kind of a feature detail. We have a bench here in the front entry. So rather than a coat closet, this has the built-in bench. Kind of nice. The coat closet certainly is nice in the sense that you can hide the coats when you want to hang them and shut the door. But here, if your father-in-law, whoever's coming over, you can hang a shoehorn here and
there you go.
take on, take off. Got a place to sit down. And then the half bath up towards the front of the house. And you are seeing a lot of wallpaper. I mean, not even just in our half baths, and I think throughout other areas of the house is kind of accents. So wallpaper is coming back.
Good place to express yourself.
For sure.
Would you describe Hanson Builders as a semi-custom or a full custom?
The majority of custom designs and custom kind of plans that we build, we try to have a good point of inspiration.
Yeah.
So we get most of our buyers come through and they see one of our floor plans. We have a lot of different layouts. They say, we really like what you did here. We can feel the space. I can feel the size of the dining. I can feel the openness and space of the kitchen. Here's some things that are missing. This house doesn't have a golf simulator. I really want a golf simulator. I want a bigger sport court that I can shoot threes that go farther around, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And so if we can take that point of inspiration and start to tweak the plan from there, I believe that you end up with the best result. Yeah, and you see over here, this has got the beverage center and kind of this built-in bar or like serving station. So the idea with these, we used to do a lot of these built-in dining buffets off of the dining room where you can keep like grandma's fine china and whatever. People are doing less of that now. Now it's kind of, can I entertain and incorporate in? So this can have some drinks set out, have some apps. It's not going through the kitchen to get to it. So if you're entertaining, you can come over here and grab stuff and go take a seat, or on the way in, you can pick it up. But you're still accessible off the dining. So if you have some extra stuff on Thanksgiving and you want to get it off the table, you have a place to set it. Kind of incorporate the two.
And while we're over here, we might as well talk about all of the sponsors that kind of made this happen. So can you kind of walk through the process? What is it? What's the benefit?
Yeah, for sure. So this home that we are in right now is the first St. Jude Dream Home in the state of Minnesota. And so what happened is a couple of very nice ladies from St. Jude came into one of my Parade Homes models during the parade. They presented this idea, kind of got understanding what was going on there, and I said, well, you know, I know St. Jude from Wendy's, so I know they're a good organization, and I've given some bucks, but didn't know a lot about them. And then I took it to JD, the owner of the company, and JD, once he kind of did a little bit of research, you know, he said, yeah, this looks like something that I think we could explore farther. And here we are now in the finished home. And how the program works is that we end up teaming up with St. Jude. We go to all of our vendors, so everybody from the land developer here who made a contribution of a portion of the lot, to, I mentioned, our plumbers. I mean, across the board, there is a whole bunch of our suppliers. I mean,
yeah, the logos are so small because there's so many people. I mean, I have to sit here and count them out, but it looks like hundreds.
There's a lot, and like I had mentioned too, even some of our vendors that maybe didn't do actual work on this house, or some of our subcontractors, still wrote a check towards the project. And so I mean, the commitment was huge. Everybody really stepped up, and there is some national sponsors as well that I think are worth mentioning, because they do it for all of the St. Jude Dream homes across, I think there's about 27 or so markets total that they kind of do something similar in. So Bosch for appliances, Shaw for flooring, Kichler for lights, Brizzo for faucets, and then Train for HVAC. And they donate 100% of that stuff to all.
So you're able to pool all of that, and then ultimately the proceeds from the end buyer will then be donated as well.
So when we go to sell this house, all of the net proceeds on the home, which we've been able to get the cost down very, very low because of all of that, that entire check amount will go to St. Jude.
Oh, that's incredible. And he's donating his commission. And so if you use me to represent you on the purchase of this exact home, I would do the same. So throwing that out there. We have it on video now, so it's official.
There we go.
So as we come in here, I've noticed you have the frame TV. It's currently set as art. Are you hearing a lot of people doing that, or?
Yeah, for sure. The frame TVs have gotten very popular. I think this is the Samsung 55-inch. And you can kind of see we did kind of the trim profile around. We have some where we do sconce lights on the sides. This TV is separate from the frame itself. So people get that frame aftermarket, or there's options right through Samsung, etc. And that kind of clips on or is a magnetic setup for around that. And it really makes it look like a picture then.
People need to know, if you want to do a frame TV, you have to know ahead of time, because you do have to run the control wire down to the cabinet. Yeah. So if you have a tech tube, you're fine. But typically there's a recess that you want to get it as nice and flush as possible. So you guys did a really good job, and I like how you integrated it. It's like it's meant to be there. So
yeah, absolutely. And you see too on this wall, the enamel color here, which is kind of in between gray and blue in some category, depending on how the light hits it. And in general in the kitchen as well, with kind of the combination of the walnut woodwork and the light gray cabinetry, you're seeing a lot of color combinations in this house.
Yeah, and they blend well together too. Sometimes you see it's like very clashing. Here it's like, okay, it's just a subtle difference. And yeah, it definitely works.
But the other thing with this house, and we're doing more of this, you'll notice the plates on the main level, plates meaning the height of the outside walls, are at 10 feet. So a lot of our houses, 9-foot main level was really kind of the standard, and we didn't do much at all in the 10-foot range until 4 or 5 years ago is maybe when we kind of started to do that, and now we're doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
So here you're seeing the 10-foot plates, and then we're boxing up in the kitchen and the great room, and that's going up like another 10 inches to about a 10-foot, 10-inch finished height.
When you do a 10-foot ceiling, you really got to do the cabinets up there, just because it looks really weird if you don't for scale. Yeah. Even though there's no one that can reach this without a ladder, it would look weird otherwise.
Yeah.
So awesome. I do like that you did the toe kick lighting here. Not something that we're seeing a ton in homes, but looks really nice here.
Yeah, the toe kick lighting and the accent lighting, LED strip lighting, I think it's really nice, particularly in the evening.
You do have some tack here. So we have the wall-mounted system. We've got the Hunter Douglas shades in here.
Yeah.
So we have the Control 4 panel here that's doing the audio controls, and then looks like we got the thermostat plugged in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have the ability to set this up for quite a bit with regards to, I mean, you could tie your irrigation, you could tie your blinds, you could tie your thermostat, you can tie your audio. If you do smart lighting, you can tie the lighting into a system like this as well. There's ways to do it hardwired, there's ways to do it wirelessly also.
So one thing I really like that you guys did with this plan is that you kept the sink out of the island. Having a sink in an island looks cool. However, as soon as you put your soaps and your dishes and your rags, it just becomes cluttered. This just keeps it clean, perfect for entertaining. And then over here, you know, you can hide your little soap right there in your dish rag and it's not gonna look out of place.
Yeah, the sink on the outside wall is a really nice design, I think, particularly when you have the 3 windows set up or one big kind of fixed picture window there. Sink can be centered, and then that apron front we typically want to do. So you just, that look, the sconce lights on the side, I think that's just really a nice look. And then to your point, you get all of that island countertop space. I mean, there's certainly pros and cons to just about everything in life, right? So you do have the work triangle consideration, and you could make an argument, and I would be on board with that argument, that sink in the island has a tighter work triangle.
Okay.
You know, the alternative is that you get a few more steps on your watch if you have the sink on the outside.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we did do in this kitchen the paneled refrigerator and freezer. This has got the 30-inch fridge as well as the 18-inch
he's stocked
freezer.
up. We're gonna have to raid this later.
Yeah, for sure. And then paneled dishwashers on both the prep kitchen and also in the main kitchen area. And then we did the Bosch, this 36-inch, so we can do 6 burners on this. This is all gas, and then obviously we have the pot filler. I like the setup something like this where you have the sink back here, you maybe have some additional countertop space. Here we actually did do a built-in coffee maker, but where you're standing, Brandon, I also like having where you can put all of your canned goods, etc., and then be able to close that off, because the reality is there is a bit of an area that's a mess.
Yeah. So if you can afford it, I always say definitely get the prep kitchen area, butler pantry, because it's gonna get like your coffee machine, your air fryers, all that stuff kind of away. And then if you're entertaining and you have guests over, this is kind of the messy area, and that can be used more for entertaining. But tell us about this great space.
We are in, so we're in the sunroom right now. And the reason I'm calling it a sunroom and not a 4-season porch is because it is incorporated into the foundation of the house.
Okay.
So generally speaking, a 4-season porch is cantilevered out on posts, and you use closed cell spray foam on the bottom side of that. And it's still heated and conditioned space like this room is, but here we have a bedroom below this. So it's kind of inside of the structure of the home. And oftentimes in our sunrooms or our 4-season porches, we're doing a fireplace, we're doing a vaulted ceiling with a ridge beam like we did in here. And then she kind of added a little bit of a moody color scheme as well as kind of textured vibe with the wallpaper. This is cork wallpaper, and then she painted that ceiling that's actually the same color as the study was up front.
Oh, okay.
We have 3 interior designers full-time on staff, and then we have 2 design studios. And so people come in and they get to work with our design team and all the selection choices. And one of the benefits for working with us, as far as we have quite a few completed model homes. We just finished the parade of homes and we had, I think, 10 parade models total. If you go through our parade models, you'll see different colors of enamel and configurations and combinations of kind of cabinetry, stained colors.
So they can see an example live and go, oh.
Exactly. Coming in from the garage, we obviously have a mud room. We try to get some space in here. We try to do a bench of some sort. This one's got the cubbies for some baskets up top. And then we do a key drop as well, which we put a USB outlet with a grommet here so you can kind of charge phones, iPads.
Well, I can't help but notice that this garage is actually finished. Not only painted, but it's heated. You got the electric car charging spot.
Yeah, this garage was kind of done up what we would consider to kind of be fully done, where it's got the taped and sanded primed walls, the floor drains in each one of the stall, those are a channel drain. And then we even did the epoxy floor with the trim boards where you epoxy up on the walls, that extra like 4.5, 5 inches there. Really nice for spraying out the floors.
Yeah, really nice to have here in Minnesota with the salt and everything, snow, and just get it to melt away. Well, choose your own adventure, up or down.
Let's go up.
All right.
Down.
All right, so at the top of the stairs, one of the things that I was impressed with is just the width of this hallway and then the ceiling detail that you've done here.
But we get a lot of people, when we're in the parade, they turn the staircase and they see this and you just hear the oohs and the ahs, or it's, honey, you gotta come see this, you gotta come look at this. And then it feels like I'm in a hotel. 7.5 or so foot wide hallway here. On interior dimension, we raised the ceiling. Here we did the walnut wood beams across with the drop light fixtures. Sometimes we do drywall beams as well.
Upper level laundry, which I mean, at this point, in this price point, this is just a given, but in this one, it is nice in that it's larger.
Where most of our buyers are doing the countertop above the appliances. Of course, you can't do a top load washer in that situation, you can do front load. But some people they like that to be able to pull out, set on top. You don't get the sock disappear behind like typically do in mine at least. And then the quartz countertop on this one too is kind of nice to have in here.
So here we have the nice, tray ceiling, but with the addition of the cove and the lighting.
Yeah, the strip lighting on the ceiling when that raise is really nice. Once again, in the evening, that's the time of the day they get the most credit for it. And you see again in this room, there is knockdown in the kids' rooms. This is all smooth ceiling again in here. Just keeps it a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
When we do that raise with the LED strip lighting, we try to do smooth ceiling in that bump up at least.
And then we have the security panel up here as well. It's kind of a low voltage thing. And holy wow factor of this bathroom.
It's really a nice setup with the double-sided entry to the shower. You have her vanity set up with her makeup counter. 6 drawers plus the additional 5 for the makeup, the linen tower stacks.
And the tub isn't right in front of a giant window for the neighbors to see, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a plus. And you've already got the shades built in, so
yep.
You're good there. And this is quite the closet. I made the mistake of bringing my wife through this tour. We have nice built-ins like this. However, we don't have this cool open area in the middle with the light.
Yeah, it is nice here, and how she staged it too.
One of the signature things of Hanson Builders is going to be this little day bed situation. Anytime I see a picture that has something like this, I know it was you guys that built it.
Yeah, the day beds like this one where it has just a single mattress with the shelves on the inside there. Obviously we did it with the arch and the curtains, kind of set it up as the girls' room. And then you'll see the other option in the other Jack and Jill, which has the ladder and the more bunk bed design. So we do that a couple of different ways. So the Jack and Jill bathroom setup here is kind of nice, where you have the separate vanity and the closet. You share the tub and the toilet, and then the other room also has a separate dedicated vanity and closet. So you get a little more separation, a little more privacy. It can function, if you have maybe a girl, boy, or if maybe you have a guest room and a kid room. That maybe works out a little bit better.
That's really smart. Yeah, the bunk bed is pretty neat until they get older, and then you gotta rip it out. It becomes like a desk or something.
Yeah, and we've had some people that do the bunk bed design. We have one sold in Holly that want to do this, where the bunk bed top part they keep, and then they put a little desk underneath, and they open that up on the floor side.
That's cool. This prepares them for college.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
So we have the ensuite over here, junior suite. I like how you've done this transition, by the way.
Yeah, the vestibule there, really all the way down the hallway you see it. Even in the other Jack and Jill bedrooms, they're smaller vestibules. But what we're trying to accomplish is not having a hallway filled with doors. And so just that little break of 12 inches, the soffit, and that floor cut in keeps you from having a bunch of doors stacked along the hallway.
Going with the hotel theme here. I think you're onto something. It's also basketball court painting. That's pretty neat. One of the benefits of buying a model, of course, is that you get stuff like this. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the junior suite, we have the Jack and Jill, and then as you know, the junior suite is a bedroom that has its own private bath. Typically the Jack and Jill is the tub shower combo, and the junior suite is the 3/4. So older kid goes here, or they fight for it.
Or guest.
Yeah. Then we have the bonus space here. We're above the garage.
Yeah, the upper level bonus room's pretty popular. Just a general playroom. We've done some now as a theater setup with a surround sound system and a 100-inch TV, which we'll see in a different house. So this one we did the vault in here. And it's just nice to have a place to kind of upstairs where the kids are getting ready for bed at night, whatever. Come in here and unwind a little bit.
Yeah,
before.
I could also see with entertaining too. You've got like the family, more formal setting on the main level.
Yep.
And then there's kind of maybe the teenagers are hanging out here,
or if it's
downstairs.
Multiple kids at home that are both having friends over and they don't want to be in the same space. Like, okay, you guys get the basement, sport court area.
Yeah.
You guys get the upstairs bonus room.
This could be like a video game central.
So this lower level, of course, is finished. We did the view windows through from the exercise room that opens up into the sport court.
That's cool.
Similar with that theme on the main level prep kitchen, it's just about getting additional natural light into a space, particularly when you're on the interior side of the house here. So this allows you to pull some of the light through from where we have the windows in the family room.
Obviously, this is like tempered, reinforced glass, so a kid goes plowing into it, they're gonna break.
yeah, I mean, it for sure. This is all tempered and 1/2 inch thick, and if they go plowing into it, they're gonna be a little dizzy for a while.
Yeah, for sure. But a huge sport court. Sometimes you see them, it's just tiny.
Yeah, this one is really nice size. And then we have the family room and what we're calling the kind of our sports bar space. That's that L-shaped design where we also then have the table. We've kind of gone away a bit from the peninsulas we used to build a lot of, where it's kind of a fixed peninsula and you do a lot of serving on one side and you kind of serve across, to more of this freestanding table that can also double then for cards and games, and you can sit
Yeah,
at.
I've definitely seen a lot of that. And is this fixed in place or is this a piece of furniture?
It's built by the cabinet maker, but it's movable.
Okay.
So it is a piece of furniture built by the cabinet maker.
So it would be included in the sale.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But technically personal property.
That's true. Technically,
So we do have another dishwasher. As mentioned before, not having to bring glassware up. Really nice to have. Microwave for the popcorn, full-size refrigerator versus your tiny beverage center. And then, yeah, I love the sink. Again, it looks out onto your little putt-putt course.
Yeah, the putting green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taskmasters did all the landscaping in this house, does most of our landscaping. They do a great job, and they donated the entire landscape package on the exterior of this house, too.
So every showing, I'm sure this gets left unlocked.
Yeah, for sure.
Some
Nobody
people
knows to
can't
lift
figure
the
out to
handle.
lift and then turn.
The 3-point latch, yeah.
3-point latch.
And then on the family room wall, similar to what we talked about in the great room, I mean, you can see here where the TV mounts, and then we have the cabinets, and we have the built-ins on the side. You have to do a tech tube, or you should. That way you have the ability to fish those wires, keep everything really clean.
Yeah, it looks nice. I love the lighting that's in the cabinetry as well. All right, well, we have a lower level bedroom that's partially staged here. The bathroom, so you shower off after those 3-pointers. This is a nice little setup in here.
Yeah, this is the basement bedroom 5 in this house, and of course we have it set up with kind of a whole bunch of the St. Jude connection pieces.
Remember, if you buy this house, you use me, I'll donate the commission. So let's go, let's do this. Well, we gotta check out this sport court because it's huge.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice sized sport court. We have this big exercise room and space. There's actually a bit of give to this floor, so it's got just a little bit more of a cushion. It was the first time we'd done this floor, and now we're doing it quite a bit more. You can kind of see where that seam is, so it has these big rolls over to this point in the black, and then there's another one that's going all the way down. And we found that this just works really well. This is a sticker over top that's peeling up. They just put that St. Jude sticker on top of it.
It goes with the theme, it's cool.
And it's nice in the sport courts when you can, to get the full 3-point line. This one has that adjustable hoop, so that comes down to 8 feet, which then you need a little bit more space and depth to get the 3-point line, because that comes out from the wall a little bit farther too, when you have adjustable. Yeah, and mechanical room, which this is
Maybe
nice,
rack.
just in the sense you have some storage space in the mechanical. There is a lot of our houses, we finish so much of the square footage. Here's where all those tech tubes I was talking about are coming in, and all the data supply. Of course, they have the Sanus tower set up, and then there's the rest of the mechanicals down here.
Well, so if you've got the money, you want to buy this house, we can donate to St. Jude, and we can beat Ryan Trahan's record. Otherwise, if you want to see more Hanson Builder homes, I've got a playlist on screen here. Luke, thanks so much for your time. We're going to run over and tour their artisan home, so be sure to subscribe because that's going to be dropping next week. Until next time, I'm Brandon. Take care.